Hello, my name is Gus Schisler and I'm here with Neuroscape, a virtual reality experience that combines an EEG headset and Unreal Engine to produce an immersive meditation environment. Today I'll be demonstrating the working prototype I have so far, which includes both conscious and unconscious interactivity within the environment, as well as some of the programs that I'm using to get this information into Unreal Engine. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Okay, so first things first, I'll give a quick overview of the two programs I'm using to get the EEG data from this headset, the Emotive Epoch, into Unreal Engine. The first program I have is called the Epoch Control Panel, which uses a USB dongle, this headset, and a couple different algorithms in order to produce some measurements based on your brain state. They have 5 different measurements. They bundle them into 3. As you can see here, they're called excitement versus calm, which you see in red, engagement versus disinterest, which you see in blue, and meditation, which you see in green. They also have something called a cognitive suite, which takes a calibrated thought that you train it using just an 8-second interval, and then it creates a key press based on the length of time you've been thinking about it and the threshold of your concentration. So as you see right now, I'm concentrating on pushing this block away from me. I'll show you. There it goes. So you can set it to have a threshold and a customized key press. So you can use either hotkeys or a mouse click or even a specific keystroke. And as you see down here, you can set the trigger type and the limit. So if I reach a certain threshold in concentration, I can produce a key press that it then sends to the program I currently have open. Just hit apply. The next program I have is called Mind Your OSCs, which takes these same measurements and converts them into OSC packets, which I then use in Unreal to produce a couple different changes in the environment around the player in order to produce a more immersive experience. So the 2 values that I'm currently using are called the meditation and the excitement values, and I'll show you a little bit of how they work once we're into the game. In addition, I'm using that same key press in order to produce a direct conscious interactivity between the user and the game in order to just draw them in more. So I'll show you guys that next. Here we are in Unreal Engine. I'll give a brief overview of the various types of interactivity that I've included within the environment so far, both the unconscious, and that takes place within this star field that you see, and the conscious interactivity, which you will see as I interact with this block here. So I'll start a standalone game. I'll bring up Mind Your OSCs up here in the corner, so you can look here for the real-time data directly from the headset and how that interacts with the environment before you. So first things first, I'll show you the star field interactivity. So I have the halo around the stars, the intensity of their glowing, set to the meditation value from the headset. So when you are more meditative, the stars are brighter. And when you are more concentrated, the stars grow a little bit more dim. So as you see now, they're a little bit, I'll see if I can make them a little bit smaller. There they go. And then I'll bring them back up by meditating just a little bit. You see they grow brighter. I'll concentrate one more time just to show you the difference once more. And now they're quite dim, and I'll bring them back up one more time. There you go. I'm always surprised about just how immersive this is. I really like the idea of having an environment that plays into not only your conscious thoughts, but your emotions, your calmness. Just having these interactions that you might not notice 100%. Like consciously, you might not be aware that this is changing, but just that you realize something is happening. There's a reason why these stars grow brighter or grow dimmer, and I really think that does a lot to draw in the player more. Next, I'll show you the cognitive interaction, the conscious. So at various places around this labyrinth that I have set up, and I'll speak more to that later, I have these blocks that stand in the way. And you can't pass them unless you shrink them, and you do that consciously. And I like to think of that as the thoughts that tend to intrude on everyday meditation. Just that I've noticed a lot in my own practice that there's always this constant chatter that sometimes you have to just focus on to make it smaller and put aside for the time being in order for you to reach a more meditative state. And I think this ties in really well with that. So I'll give a demonstration. This block that you see here will shrink and allow me to move past it. And you can see the push value up there on my EuroSCs. So I'll move into this space. There it shrinks. I'll focus one more time, and I'll focus again. There we go. I find that really peaceful almost. It's like it's the biofeedback that you're seeing, that active thought of shifting these thoughts away from your current mind in order for you to continue along this path. And next I'll speak a little bit about the path that I have the character move along. It's based off of the idea of a meditation labyrinth, which isn't a labyrinth that you are meant to get lost in. There aren't any dead ends or forks or turns even. It's just usually a circular path that you walk along. You're not supposed to get to the end, the middle, or the outside. You're supposed to go to that space in order to be there, in order to get lost in the repetition of moving around in concentric circles. So in order for you to focus more on what's happening inside, to be mindful of what's going on around you, and hopefully reach a deeper meditative state than just sitting or just focusing on something else. And so I have various different obstacles that the player overcomes within this labyrinth. I have neurons that are missing that they shift into place, more of those blocks that I showed you before. So hopefully it'll take the traditional idea of that meditation labyrinth, that quiet space where you go to repetitively walk, and shift that into the digital, into the virtual reality age. So, and I believe that this is like one good step towards making that happen. Currently I have it set up so that I'm working to set it up so that it works in the MyDen at the University of Michigan. It's called the Michigan Immersive Digital Experience Nexus. It's essentially a virtual reality cave where they project stereoscopic images on the wall in front of you, on the sides, and on the floor. And then you have 3D glasses on with motion trackers. And it edits the camera views so that you can't even see the walls and the places where they meet, the edges, anymore. You just you are aware that you're in this space, and you kind of lose track of where you are, and you're allowed to move around within this space because of the head tracking. So moving from that, I'd like to develop this for Steam VR or Oculus Rift in order to get this program into more people's hands, so that they experience this, and eventually maybe they won't even need this programming in order to experience that meditative state. Maybe they'll grow beyond it and not need this program anymore in order to experience that state. And that's what I'm hoping to do, to get more people to meditate, to make more people be aware that they can be mindful but still be entertained. So my name is Gus Schisler. Again, I'm with Neuroscape, the working title of this project. And I hope you enjoyed this brief demonstration. Thank you for your time.